I don't mind cheap crap. I don't mind expensive quality. But what I hate is expensive crap. And what I feel like I'm getting at the moment is expensive crap. And apparently the Autotrader are the talk of the town. And the reason they're the talk of the town is because of how much they're spending on their refurbishment. Do you want to know how much they're spending on their refurbishment for their offices? I, like many other car dealers, am getting fed up with Autotrader. Big time. Now, I know there's been a lot of content about Autotrader in the past. I'm just starting to get wound up with it now. I'm going to explain to you why I'm getting wound up with it and what my plans are moving forward, because things in the business have to change. And the amount of money that I'm spending on Autotrader is, in my opinion, pretty disgusting. Year on year, Autotrader have had more out of my business than I have. Yeah, I know. And this year, that can't be the case. Things have got to change. So, I'm going to tell you what I'm spending. I'm going to tell you what my options are. But really and truly, I need your advice as what a consumer might look for when they're looking on Autotrader. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you if you've subscribed. If you haven't, please do. The usual stuff. And it'd be great to hear your feedback on this one, because this is a little bit of a messy one. And Autotrader are very good at putting you in a position where they make you feel uneasy about making changes. Unless, of course, it means spending more money, because that's always the right thing to do. Right, I've got a problem with Autotrader. The problem I've got with Autotrader isn't how much money they make, £345 million up to the end of 2024 tax year. So that was March 24, 345, a third of a billion. Sorry, I'm not bothered by the amount of money that they made. What I'm bothered about is the fact that they make so much profit and then increase our prices with not a care in the world. So our prices went up by 8% this year. I know, what was inflation? A couple of percent, 3%? So this is a company that last year their profits went up by 26% year on year, and then decided to put our bill up by 8%. Now, the problem that I've got with them is we are the customer, not the people buying the cars. And it does feel like it's a bit of a cash cow that they are milking. Now, I know a lot of dealers are starting to move away from Autotrader, or trying to move away from Autotrader, because it is this huge kind of, almost like a monopoly in the business. What else are you meant to do? This is where people look for cars. Now, I've got options, and my options are to either just come off Autotrader completely, or reduce my package, or change my package. And they make it very confusing. Now, I've actually had a phone call with Autotrader, and I did record it. Now, unfortunately, usually what happens when you ring them is you hit a bit of a brick wall. They try and manipulate the situation, talk you out of it, etc. Now, I've heard stories about people saying to be part of a lot of dealer groups, and a lot of people are moving on to lower packages that cost less money and mean that your cars aren't going to be seen as well. And apparently what happens when you try and sort of explain that, look, you know, everybody's doing this, that's why I want to do it. Apparently they're known to say things like, well, it's your competition, so of course they're going to tell you that, etc. Now, on the phone call that I recorded, I didn't get any of that. To be fair, I actually got a very helpful young man, won't say his name, and usually I have had it before where I've tried to reduce my package, and it is normally very standoffish, but I did say at the start of the call I'm recording this, and he was very pleasant. Whether that's because he's a pleasant bloke, or whether that's because he didn't want to be recorded being unpleasant, I don't know. But either way, I didn't get the content that I wanted. But what he did do is he tried to steer me in a bit of a direction where I wasn't saving as much money as I wanted to save.
To be completely honest, I wouldn't recommend going to anything below enhanced, just in terms of like visibility and how much you're going to lose. So I'll send you over an option for super and enhanced. Does that sound okay?
Why not standard or starter?
Just in terms of visibility, obviously there are options you can go for, but I just feel like the drop to go from our top package to go to our bottom or kind of second tier, it's just a massive drop in visibility and how your adverts are gonna show.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm paying, why I'm paying it, how I've ended up in that situation, and what my plans are moving forward. But also, I would love to hear back from you as to whether or not you think it's the right thing to do. I know a lot of dealers are doing it. So I want to start off by saying that there are dealers in a worse position than me. I only have 7 cars for sale on Autotrader at any one time. It's called their 5+2 package. No, it's a lie. I've got 9 cars for sale. It's their 7+2 package. And this again annoys me. Why can't you just call it 9? regardless. So I've 9 cars for sale and it costs me £2,500 a month. So it is way in excess of £200 per car per month. Now, fortunately, I tend to turn stock fairly quickly, which means that on a good month, I might turn the stock 7 cars twice in a month. So therefore, I've got 14 sales and I've paid for 7 slots. That makes sense. It costs 110 quid per car or whatever. But when it's quiet, which it has been, it really starts to hurt. So I want to look at reducing that and I want to look at the options that I've got. Now, Autotrader I get because if I'm not using all my spaces, so say I've only got 5 cars for sale and 9 spaces, there's no reduction in price. But if I want to use an additional space, I can buy it, it's called a tactical slot, but it costs more than the average cost of those 9 spaces. And what they inevitably do then is go, you want a bigger package then, don't you, sir? And they can immediately move you onto a bigger package, but if you then want to reduce it, it's a 30-day written notice to reduce your package. Now, I know a lot of dealers have moved, so I'm thinking about doing the same. And from what I understand, after speaking to a really good mate of mine called Ibby, who's another car dealer, is he's reduced his package. And the reason he's reduced his package is because he believes, from what Autotrader's saying, is the only benefit you get from paying more money is that when you search for a car on Autotrader, if you leave it on recommended, then it will show your cars higher in the search. And Autotrader say that as part of their experience and their research, that most customers search for a car using their search function, recommended. And I just don't buy that. I don't think that the consumer is that narrow-minded that they're just going to put, I want to buy a BMW M2, put it into Autotrader, and it's going to show them every M2 comp, non-comp, manual, auto, etc., etc. I think someone's going to go, no, I want a BMW competition DCT on a facelift LCI in blue. Do you know what I mean? So I'm wondering what I'm paying for. So I had the conversation with them. They sent me a new price list through and I'm going to talk you through it. However, the reason I'm annoyed with them at the moment is because of how much profit they made, the fact that they've put our prices up, but also I've had a little birdie chirping into my ear who's working on their new offices down in Manchester, and apparently the Autotrader are the talk of the town. And the reason they're the talk of the town is because of how much they're spending on their refurbishment. Do you want to know how much they're spending on their refurbishment for their offices? £15 million. And it just made me feel a little bit sick that I'm contributing to that. That, for me, doesn't make sense. So, the problem I've got with Autotrader isn't the fact that they make a lot of money. That's fine, that's business, I get it. It's the fact that they will publicly broadcast how much money that they're making, increase my prices, spend a huge amount of money on a lavish sort of office upgrade, and unfortunately is a detriment to my business. And as a result, if my business isn't doing well, I can't provide as good a service to my customers because I can't afford more staff, or I can't afford to prep cars, or I have to make a cut somewhere. And inevitably the cut tends to come out of something that affects the customer. It might mean the showroom's not as nice or whatever. So actually, Autotrader have got a huge detrimental effect on the industry as a whole, in my opinion. Right, so let me talk you through what they've said and what my options are. First of all, what I'm going to do is just see whether or not I can find some of my cars on Autotrader. So this is Autotrader. Now what I've done today is I've just quickly looked at BMW M2s, like I was talking about, because I've got a blue M2 in for sale that I bought from Mark, who's a existing customer but also now a subscriber. So let's have a look at your car, Mark. First of all, what I've done is I've just put in BMW M2, and these are the cars that they've brought up. So it's shown on here, add at the top. Now add means that someone is paying specifically to be at the top, which I thought I was doing on the Ultra package, but apparently not. So let's see how far down my M2 is. Still nothing, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing, still nothing. There it is. That's my M2. So if you're searching for one and you're not putting in specific criteria to find an M2, then I should be at the top, right? So what am I paying for? So if I just do another one, so let's just go on to, I've got a Ford Puma in at the moment. I know, but it came in on part exchange. I'm not a massive Ford guy, but actually it's a really cool car and it's a really nice history and all the stuff that goes with it. And as I say, it was a part exchange. I thought, I'm gonna have a go on that. So let's have a quick look at Ford Pumas. Let's just go for Ford Puma as an overlay and see whether or not it's going to bring up a Puma ST. So Ford Puma, search. Okay, so first of all, it has brought up an ST line here. And no. Nope. Nope. There it is. So again, how many cars have I had to scroll through? I am paying the most amount of money to Autotrader than I possibly can. That should be a bit brighter, that photo. And yes, I know it's a green Puma on gold wheels. I know this. So basically, when I bought this car in, I was doing the deal over the phone. I said, oh, can you send me some photos, please? He said, oh, the car's mint, it's immaculate. And to be fair, it's a lovely straight car. 2 owners, lovely history, blah, 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 all this stuff that goes with it. So I've just had the wheels redone as well. I thought, get in. That's going to save us a couple of quid. In gold. So I've run the car for 4 weeks. It's not sold. So now what I'm going to do is get the wheels done in gloss black to match the kind of other bits of the car. So that's happening today. The wheel guys are in downstairs. So I've got some new prices now for what my package is costing me and what my package could cost me, and I want to see whether or not you think I'm getting value for money after seeing those things, and whether or not you think that I should potentially look at other options. Okay, so this is the Autotrader package quote. So at the moment, I'm currently paying £2,108 plus VAT, so about 2,500 quid. And then they make it really confusing. So my package at the moment, I've got 7 contracted adverts, 2 bonus adverts. I've always questioned, can they just take them away at some point? I don't know. 2 bargain adverts, which basically means I can have 2 cars advertised for less than £2,500 each, which I can't remember the last time that I did. Finance calculator, which they charge me for, because with the finance calculator, if you don't pay for your own finance calculator, they will use their finance calculator, and in turn, any customer that wants finance, they'll sell them finance. You've got to pay for them to not take your customers. They really are frustrating. So it's saying I've got 15 forecourt stock there. I don't see how that adds up at all. I've got 9, haven't I? They just play with the numbers. So at the moment, if I was to move down the packages, so there are 5 different ones, just to make it more confusing. You've got Ultra, Ultra Enhanced, Standard, Super Starter. Oh, what? I mean, look, I just want to know a price. What I've done to make things easy is I've just gone, right, okay, where am I saving the most amount of money? The most amount of money I'm saving is option 4, where I'll save 1,100 quid a month. And option 4 is the starter package with 9 cars on it, I think. Again, it doesn't show you, does it? I'm guessing it's 9 cars. They just baffle you with... So I'm going to have to ring them up and explain exactly what this is, but I'm going to assume that it's the same amount of cars, because I said to him, look, I want a quote on the same amount of cars, and then a quote for another 3 cars. So do me 9 and do me 12. So if I was to go onto the starter package, which is 9 cars, I would save £1,106 a month, which is £13,272 a year, plus VAT. I'm halving the bill. Now the question that I've got, which is really stressing me out, is, am I shooting myself in the foot? If you are a consumer looking for a car, does it matter whether or not you are searching specifically for a car, or would you search under recommended and let Autotrader do the rest for you? I truly believe that if I'm looking for a car, I will go, I would like to buy a Ford Puma in green, wants to be an ST line, wants to do less than 50,000 miles, and I'll put all that criteria in rather than going recommended. Because from what I can see, the only thing that I'm paying for is to be higher on that recommended search, and it appears that I'm not even getting that. What do you think the right thing to do is on this one? I could rant about Autotrader all day long. At the end of the day, it is, unfortunately, the evil that you need, isn't it? We need to sell cars, people look on Autotrader, but I'm just wondering, is my 13 grand a year better off spent? I mean, you're pretty much halfway to another person working, aren't you? That could walk around the street knocking on doors and saying, do you want to buy a car? I know that wouldn't work. It just feels like you're getting fleeced, and I don't like getting fleeced. I'm a Yorkshireman. I don't mind paying, like my dad always says, I don't mind cheap crap. I don't mind expensive quality, but what I hate is expensive crap. And what I feel like I'm getting at the moment is expensive crap. So, I'm going to make a decision. I don't quite know what to do yet. I want to hear your feedback. I think anything in between doesn't make any sense. So they've got all these other packages. So you've got package 1, which is the best one, 5, which is the worst one. I don't see the point in these 3 in the middle. I think my options are stay where I'm at, but I'm not selling cars at the moment. It's quiet. Everyone's saying the same. Not helping me selling the cars. Or do I go with Billy Boggo Basic, save 13 grand a year and put that 13 grand into advertising on Facebook, into advertising on Google, into another member of staff, into my pocket? Well, there's an idea. I could have it. So what do? What's your thoughts? Thoughts, feelings and emotions on a postcard, please. I'm going to do something. I have to do something. My gut is telling me, slash it and go into the starter package. The other thing is, even if I go into the starter package for 12 adverts, it's going to save me 760 quid a month. So I'll still save 9 grand a year plus VAT and I get an extra 3 cars on that package. Is this not no-brainer stuff? I don't know. I hope I'm not ranted too much about them. I'm sure they're lovely people, but I've never had a good experience with them. And unfortunately, I feel it has a knock-on effect to the industry. And I also feel like if everyone goes onto the starter package, then it's a level playing field again, which feels fair. So, what's your thoughts on that one? Love to hear back from you. Let's hope that this car now sells with some black wheels. And I've got an interesting week coming up. I'm going to talk you through it as we go through it. Until next time, cheers.